Hi guys, my name is Gregory Kaidanov, and I'm running the blog Grekai on the Fly, Tips and Tricks in a World of Mix. Today we are going to talk about converting your blog into an audio podcast in a very simple way. So, first of all, you need to go to the WordPress.com, which is a free version of the WordPress, and just create your account. Let's say you already created your blog, right? And then you can see it on your paid WordPress or wherever. You can just take the text of the post and then you are taking the text of your post and posting it on the free version of the WordPress.com. It doesn't cost you anything, just pouring the information in the post, and then you're publishing it. Takes about a second, and when it's published, you're getting create a podcast episode. Pressing that redirects you to the Anchor.fm, which is a subsidiary of Spotify, enabling you to convert your blog into audio. Here you can see my new blog has been added and I can import it. I'm importing the blog and I can see it here with the title that I've defined before. And I'm creating an episode. Pressing that, I automatically convert to audio. Choosing Cassidy, you can choose the woman voice or the man voice. It's just a consistency. In our case, we are setting the same voice. And now it's converting text to audio. Okay, now you can see that the text appears here and we have a recording here. It says how long is the recording.
Filer codes can seem to be another overwhelming hurdle to jump through the hoops of getting customs clearance.
And we can check that it's okay. Going forward, and the episode has been added, we are going to our library. It's better to prepare the prefix and suffix of your podcast and then just reuse it each time. Let me find our prefix. So we have here the prefix, and I'm just drag and drop it here, and the suffix, and now I'm ready to go forward with the podcast. Okay, now when the episode is ready, we need to add a metadata to that episode. We are taking out the free URL from the free WordPress.com, and we are taking the URL from our website. Taking the URL, and in order to measure the success of the podcast, we want to create a UTM, a campaign URL builder. We're putting here our URL and adding the keyword to the campaign content. Now we can copy the URL and copy the shortened URL. We are now going to save the UTM to our Excel in order to manage it later on. So we have the original URL. We have the original URL, the description of that URL, and the short bit.ly. Sometimes users a bit afraid of pressing bit.ly, so if the original URL, which is a long one, is not too long, we will use that for users to see what they are using, what they are pressing. Okay, now we are going back to the Anchor and adding this URL, and also taking the expert, the prefix of our blog for users to understand what is this episode about. So we are in our website and we are taking the prefix, the excerpt of our post and going to the anchor and adding it as well. Then we are adding the image of the same post that we are publishing right now and uploading it to the episode. setting it to the episode number, and that's it. We are ready to publish. Now it's publishing. So now it has been published, and this is a very cool feature, guys. So here he's reminding me that I need to add this listen on Spotify by returning to the WordPress, and I'm pressing this one, going back to the free of charge WordPress.com my blog, and he's adding this listen to Spotify item to my blog, which is not important to me, but what is important here is to switch to draft my blog, because we don't want to redirect the attention from my original post. So we are switching it. Let's just update first. And now we are switching to draft and checking it. Very important to leave the free of charge WordPress template with published 0 posts. It is just an additional check to see that we didn't leave something behind, and only our website is going to be addressed. Okay, so now when the podcast went from the anchor to the Spotify, you can see here that this is the last chapter. We just order it by newest to oldest. And then we take the share embed episode. I'm always taking the smallest. This is more neat for me. Switching it to more consistent color. For me, again, it's personal. Copying it, closing the Spotify, and going to the blog. Now here we need to just integrate the code of the embedded under the exert that we've set on the episode, and just integrate the code. Now we are publishing it. Okay, it's published, and we refresh our blog with new and shiny podcast. Whoops.
Simplifying the supply chain and the aspects of internet. Filer codes can seem to be another overwhelming hurdle to jump through the hoops of getting customs clearance. However, besides the number crunching, customs will usually allow an import company with a filer code in place from previous filings to use the same filer code for entry summary processing.
As you see, it is very simple. So it's just as simple as that, switching from the blog, written blog, to the podcast with 0 effort and 0 cost. Good luck.